William had kept the letter for 40 years. Unopened, unforgiven, untouched. And on the night he finally decided to read it, but instead he burned it. Why would a man protect a secret only to destroy it forever? In a small village where everyone knew each other's stories, Williams was the only one no one dared to ask about. He was once known as the kindest man in town, a man who laughed loudly, loved deeply, and waited endlessly. But something changed him, something that turned warmth into silence and hope into regret. People said it was because of Clara, but they never knew the truth, because the truth was sealed inside a single letter, a letter William chose never to read. "William," Clara's voice echoed. He turned, smiling instantly. Clara was different, not just kind, but brave in ways the village didn't understand. She spoke her mind, dreamed of places beyond the hills, and most of all, she never feared leaving. "You'll ruin your hands working like that," she teased. "And you'll ruin your future staying here," William replied softly. "Come with me one day," Clara said. "To where?" "Anywhere that isn't here." William laughed, but his eyes didn't, because for Clara it was a dream. For him, it was a choice he wasn't ready to make. Would William ever leave the village, or would he lose Clara? Rain was falling softly on that quiet evening as Clara stood beneath a lantern, holding a small envelope in her hands. "I'm leaving tomorrow," she said. William froze. "So soon?" "I waited for you to ask me to stay," she whispered. Silence, a long, painful silence. "I can't leave this place, Clara," William finally said. She nodded, not surprised, just disappointed. "Then promise me something," she said, handing him the envelope. "What is it?" "A letter. Don't open it now." "When then?" "When you feel ready to forgive me." William frowned. "Forgive you for what?" Clara smiled, but her eyes filled with tears. "That's something you'll have to discover." She steps back, turns, walks away into the rain. William didn't chase her, and that was the moment everything changed. What is inside the letter? Why would William need to forgive Clara? Years passed, the village moved on, but William stayed the same. He never married, never left, never opened the letter. People asked. He never answered. But every evening, he would sit by the window, hold the letter, and whisper, "Not yet." What could be so painful that a man would rather live in silence than know the truth? Margaret's question, an old friend who just arrived to see William. "You're running out of time," she said gently. "For what? For courage?" William sighed. "Some things are better left unknown." Margaret leaned forward. "No, William. Some things destroy you precisely because you refuse to know them." He looked away. "I loved her," he whispered. "I know. I waited for her to come back." Margaret hesitated, then said quietly, "What if she did?" "What do you mean?" Margaret shook her head. "Maybe it's time you read the letter." Did Clara return? What has William been missing all these years? William sat alone, the letter in his hands. 40 years of silence, trembling in a single moment. His fingers shook as he touched the seal. "Forgive me," he whispered. But for what? For leaving? For loving? Or for something far worse? He closed his eyes and slowly began to open it. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door. Who could come at a time like this? Door creaks open. A young man stands in the rain. "Are you William?" "Yes." The man stepped forward, soaked and nervous. "My name is Thomas." William nodded slowly. "And?" "I was told You might have something that belongs to me." William frowned. "I don't understand." Thomas hesitated, then said, "A letter." William's grip tightened. "How do you know about that?" Thomas swallowed. "Because my mother wrote it." "Thomas, Clara's son?" "Your mother," William began slowly. "Clara." The name hung heavy in the air. William's voice trembled. She had a child?" Thomas nodded. "She had me." Deep, crushing silence. "She never told me," William whispered. Thomas looked at him carefully. "She thought you knew." What if everything William believed was wrong? "My mother returned," Thomas said. William's eyes widened. "When?" "Months after she left." William stood abruptly. No, she didn't." "She did," Thomas insisted. "She came back for you." "Why didn't I see her?" Thomas hesitated. "Because she was already with child." "She was afraid," Thomas continued. "Afraid you'd think she betrayed you." William's voice broke. "She never betrayed me." Thomas looked down. "She believed she had." Thomas slowly pointed to the letter in William's hand. "That letter, it explains everything." William stared at it. 40 years. 40 years of waiting, of blaming, of silence, all built on a truth he never chose to see. "Why didn't she tell me herself?" he whispered. Thomas's eyes filled with quiet sadness. "She tried." William looked up. "What do you mean?" "She came to your house many times. But each time, you weren't there." "She left the letter," Thomas said softly, "and hoped one day you'd read it." William sank into his chair. "I thought she left me." Thomas shook his head. "She was waiting for you, just like you were waiting for her." "Open it," Thomas whispered. William looked at him, tears streaming down his face. "I can't." "Why?" "Because if I read it now," his voice broke, "I'll have to live with knowing I wasted everything." Thomas stepped closer. "No," he said gently, "you'll finally understand everything." William looked at the letter one last time, then slowly. He walked to the fireplace and held it over the flame. "Wait!" Thomas shouted. But it was too late. The letter caught fire, curling, blackening, disappearing. Thomas stared in shock. "Why would you do that?" William watched it burn with quiet peace. "Because," he said softly, "I already know what it says." Thomas looked confused. William smiled through tears. "It says she loved me, and I loved her." "For 40 years," William said quietly, "I thought I was waiting for answers. But I was really just afraid of the truth?" He looked at Thomas. "Don't make the same mistake." Thomas nodded silently. "Sometimes the things we avoid are the very things that could have saved us. If this story stayed with you, if you've ever waited too long to say something that matters, there's another story you shouldn't miss."